नहीं pointer. Okay. Good morning, ma'am, Dr. Subhadra Jalali and Dr. Sabyasachi Sen Gupta, and good morning, everybody. Innovative mindset is, taking up a chance to bring it to a change. And let me clarify what is the difference between invention versus innovation. So invention is when something which is not existent in nature is invented for the first time. For example, one of our great grandfather must have invented the wheel, but then the journey of that basic wheel to the modern wheel is innovation of the work done by generations of number of people. So to be an inventor is a rare chance. You need an excellent opportunity and the right time and the right luck to be an inventor. But to be an innovator is much easier than to be an inventor, and every one of us can be an innovator in our own right. And for example, Dr. Harold Ridley is the inventor of an intraocular lens. But then the intraocular lens has evolved over a period of time by number of innovators who brought the IOL, basic IOL, to the modern day IOLs. Same way, Dr. Charles Kalman is inventor of the phaco machine, but then the phaco machine has evolved over a period of time because of so many innovations done by so many of innovators. And for an innovator, there is no better slogan than this: arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is achieved. And an innovation can never be brought to a fruition unless there is a team of mindsets which gather together, adding the ideas and making it into a reality. And every problem has a solution. You just have to be creative enough to find it. And as Thomas Alva Edison has said, there is a way to do it better, find it. And my life is my message, as is the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. So I would just describe some of my innovations in my practice. I made my own excimer laser for the reason that my excimer laser, which I had purchased in 1995, after 5 years it broke down. I had bought it at a crore rupees, and at the end of 5 years, the 45 lakhs loan was still pending, and the repair cost quotation was 46 lakhs. So I decided, let me either scrap the machine. So my wife said, when you are scrapping, why don't you open it up? So I opened up the excimer laser and then studied it and went to several institutes, several scientists, including President APJ Kalam, who was not a president at that time, and made my own excimer laser, not one but two. And something simple can be innovated by any one of us. For example, I have made a frame in which all my foot controls are locked to each other in the reference of my right and left foot. So when I shift myself from right temporal to left temporal, I don't have to fumble with my foot to have the foot pedals of microscope and phaco in the right position. My staff has just to move this, and now we have pinned this to the floor, so they just have to rotate it around that pin. So there are many simple things which we all can do. When I was a resident, there was no microscope in the department. So with Mr. Pratap Jaggi, I designed a microscope which could be clamped to the operation table's side, and we started using that in the department, and we started using intraocular lenses made by Care Group. And that microscope is still date with me, and now we have welded that microscope's pole to the trolley, so the trolley and the microscope is together for all the small procedures, and we are still using it. Now, when I started my practice in 1998, I bought this Carl Zeiss Jena's chair unit, and I realized the benefits of moving instruments to the patient rather than moving patient to each instrument. So taking this idea from this very complicated design, we made a chair unit in Ahmedabad by Plantech Medical System, who were actually dental chair manufacturers. So I brought them into ophthalmology, and we made the India's first chair unit. And unfortunately, at that time, there was no idea to patent it. So later on, so many other companies started making, but I was the person who was the first to make a chair unit in India, and I still have the first chair unit of India still with me since last 31 years. And then This is a Sony's 3D camera having 2 channels. So this camera gave me an idea, and I replaced this camera on the slit lamp. I just removed the slit lamp's old slit lamp's head and put the camera over there and connected it to a large 3D TV. So my assistant, because I have an OPD of 70 to 80 patients every day, so instead of stretching my neck and my eyes in the slit lamp, my assistant examines every patient. I see it on the 3D TV. And whenever I have to do some procedure like removing suture or removing a foreign body, then only I go to the slit lamp. Otherwise, I have 2 assistants who keep on showing me on a 3D TV. So this is my 3D digital slit lamp, which I still use, seeing it only on my monitor and record. And this is Omni Glow, which the name comes from omnipresent red glow. And the story goes that we all know now the advantages of the stereocoaxial red reflex. So I decided to buy a Lumira for myself, but my banker said your balance sheet is too weak to give you a 45 lakhs loan. So then I asked my wife that let us sell your 2 kilograms of gold. Naturally, she would not like that. So she said me, if you could make an excimer laser, why can't you make a Lumira device for yourself? And as Plato has said, necessity is the mother of invention. And then I saw this picture, African boys making their own billiard tables out of mud. So then I decided I would make Omni Glow Lumira device of myself. So studied Helmholtz's 3 principles of coaxial illumination. Also studied the principle of phase contrast microscopy by Fritz Jernicke, because when you increase the glow, the stereopsis decreases and the contrast also decreases. So you have to, along with the glow, increase the contrast also, and you also have to. This is without contrast and with contrast, tobacco mosaic virus, and this is the paramecium without contrast and with contrast. So you also have to increase the contrast, and glow and stereopsis again are inversely proportionate to each other. So when you increase the glow, the stereopsis decreases, so you have to increase the stereopsis also. So I studied the optics of stereopsis enhancement and then made a device which would give me a fantastic glow. And with the blessings of my guru Puja Prong Swami and my physics guru Dr. George Beckow, we first and Dr. Suvan Bhattacharya, taking some inspiration from him how to go through the patent. So I got it patented, and he is my current guru Mahan Swami blessing my Omni Glow, and also took help because me and Kalam Sahib Guru Bhai and Modi Sahib also Guru Bhai. So we made Omni Glow, which can be attached to any microscope, and as you can see, it's a detachable device which hangs under the microscope. If you want to attach biome in place of it, you can just remove it within a minute, and it gives you excellent ray reflex. In a conventional microscope, there's only one sweet spot where you get the ray reflex, but with Omni Glow you get the ray reflex in any position of the eyeball, in any tilt of the eyeball, any size of the pupil. So about Omni Glow, I think it's a long video, so I'll skip and go to my other innovations. So then after Omni Glow, I realized that if I replace the lights, visible lights, by UV lights, I can create a C3R treatment device myself. So I created a C3R which is otherwise costing 14 lakhs for a cost of 1.5 lakhs, and that 14 lakhs C3R still does not have a microscope. So when you're doing it, you need another microscope, and you have to keep on switching between the UV device and the microscope. But here, microscope and UV device both are in the same. And then I realized that if I replace my light source with a small femtosecond laser source, I can do capsulotomy. So I made a device known as IREX, which will give me an excellent capsulotomy. No other phagofragmentation not possible, but capsulotomy is the most important femtosecond procedure. So that we made, and then I had a good opportunity to go to Russia and study some time at Fyodorov Institute. This is the office of Dr. Fyodorov at Russian Federation, and had a good chance to work with Dr. Boris Malyugin and his wife Dr. Natalia Maichuk, and we together developed a laser phaco machine Now this is a phaco machine which is a specific laser which melts the cataract like wax is being melt. So you don't need to hold, you don't need to divide, you don't need to sculpt, no phaco exercises at all. You just keep on melting, and this is just an irrigation device. So there is no vacuum. It is the force of the irrigation which is taking the debris out. And the lower end of this tube is slightly lower than the irrigation. So the fluid goes out just by itself without any vacuum. So this is a fantastic laser cataract extraction which is being developed by me and Dr. Boris Malugin and the Federal Institute. And then we had a good chance to work with Dr. Shigeru Kineshita, and we took their laboratory research into clinical arena, and we developed eye drops with which you can induce mitotic cell division in the corneal endothelial cells, so that pseudophakic bullous keratopathy and Fuchs dystrophy can be treated medically rather than surgically. So we presented this at last year's Paris ESCRS, where we got the best prize, and also at Kyoto APSCRS, where also we got the best prize for this research. And Dr. Shigeru Kineshita and myself, and we became family friends, so we had a dinner also at his home. And this is the eye drops clearing pseudophakic bullous keratopathy to this clarity. This is the patient, one of the patient who had a CAMP surgery, lost the endothelium and went into bullous keratopathy. And on day 13, the cornea started clearing, day 35 more clarity, and day 45th and day 55th, the cornea is completely clear. And Fuchs dystrophy, we observed that not only the cells regenerate, but even the corneal guttatas, they start getting phagocytosed by these drugs somehow. We don't know what is the mechanism, but it works so very well. And then I made a corneal tattooing pen myself. You know, it's such a simple, as if you are drawing, making a drawing on cornea. So you can create a very beautiful two-tone cornea. So we made the pupil first, and then with brown pigment, now we are creating a brown iris. If patient has a green iris, you can create a green iris. If patient has a blue iris on the other side, you can create a blue iris. So you know, this is the immediate post-op picture, and this is the post-op picture with two-tone corneal tattooing. So this tattooing pen is so simple that you don't need to be a cornea surgeon to do tattooing. Any of anterior-segment surgeon can do this. So thank you very much for your patient listening. And there are many more innovations which I have done. So you are all most welcome to come to my hospital at Bhavnagar, and you will be able to see more than 70, 80 different innovations which I have done in my 30 years career in ophthalmology. Thank you so much for your patient listening.